Hi, it's Monday night, the 14th of December already, in day 348 of my journey to business alignment. Today's Living the Dream experience was being able to tell Fahad to set my website to go live. Now that's truly a living the dream experience, I have to tell you. I feel like Dr. Frankenstein when he said, "It's alive, it's alive." Anyway, my power statement for this morning said, I will finish the next few tasks at the top of my Autoport to-do list, and once I check that one off, I will keep going and do the next task in line one at a time until I'm either done with the list or until I run out of time for the day. I almost can't believe that it is the 15th of December. Man, oh man. Which means there is just a half a month before this year is over. 2020 has truly been a remarkable year in many, many ways. For me, it's truly been a year of living the dream. Anyway, here's my to-do list that I had for this morning, right here. See those yellow ones all done and checked off and scribbled? Bam, done. My most important task for today. Oh, I had some other things too. Look at all these that I got done today, carried over from Saturday. Bam, got those done. And I had a couple little ones I jotted down late in the afternoon, and I got those done as well. So, a lot of pieces through the portal of my mind. My most important task for today was to make time to go and get my car registered. You know, it's that time of year. Once a year, you got to do it. And it's on a year that I didn't have to do the emissions and all that kind of thing. It's always a bit of a chore for sure, but I'm actually enjoying the quiet time that I had while I sat there as they checked my car over and did the paperwork and so forth. A nice time to check my family emails and watch a couple of Marco Polos. I've seen my wife send those out to my grandkids and then laughing and chuckling. That was so fun. Like I said, my wife is doing the 12 days of Christmas for our grandchildren. She has recorded Christmas stories for the little people, 12 of them, 13 I guess, of my grandkids, but there's 12 stories, and she started sending them one at a time via Marco Polo starting Sunday, which is 12 days before Christmas. So she has sent 2 so far, Sunday and today, and the kids are really enjoying it and sending back little Marco replies to her, which is what she had hoped for, and she's delighted about it. It's so fun. My fun task for today was to watch a special movie with Kathleen tonight that she asked for me to watch with her. It was called Christmas Oranges. It's on Amazon Prime, and it was really a sweet movie. I can see now why she wanted to watch it. It is a perfect movie for the kind of person my wife is. She is something special, and it was a special movie. And my exciting task for today was to start my Christmas shopping. Oh man. Anyway, here's my end of the day success routine questions. Get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today, or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Cold blast of water on my face started my win the day routine. So yes, I started my morning with power. Were you productive throughout the day? You saw that. Pieces through the portal of my mind, moving my goals forward, and I've got the important things done. Check, check, check. Did you show up as the person you wanted to today? This month has been great. Yes, I did. I showed up as the person that would serve me the best and serve the better me. What about your personal time with Kathleen? Well, I just talked about that. Enjoyed the evening entirely with her. She was present for me, and I was present for her, even on a little sugary sweet type show. It was fun. Next are my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your promises that you made to yourself this morning? Well, this morning I promised myself that I'd get these 3 top priorities done no matter what. And after my win the morning, win the day routine, I usually eat breakfast and catch up on a little of the news, and then I come up to my office. But this morning I went right up and got dressed and went and registered my car so that I could check that task off my list. Then I went up to the office and looked at my Christmas shopping list that I had typed out and had several ideas come to me. Of course, I will get Kathleen a few nice gifts, but I am going to make her a gift coupon booklet for a few things that she can cash in on when and where she wants. One of them is a coupon that's going to say, go dancing with Kathleen. She has been asking me that I go dancing for months now with her, and so I will have that coupon in that coupon booklet. Another one is a coupon for a spa date where I go with her and we both get treated special. I think she's going to get a kick out of that I'm willing to even think about doing that with her. Anyway, that's what I've been working on. Anyway, I kept my promises, and I'm happy that I made those promises this morning. Bam, they're done. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any new instant pre-play movies that your two amigos called up onto the screen of your mind that you watched? Well, I watched my must-see TV favorite 5 movies first, and like I said, I immediately went on to get my car registered, so no additional movies today. My next question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? What one thing can I do better tomorrow? Even if the day goes sideways getting it done, I'd still feel like a success, and then turn that into a power statement. Well, for my Monday, I focused on working on getting all the remaining tasks that need to get done before my website could go live. And bam, I got those specific ones done, like I said, and I asked Fahad to set the website live. It's alive. There's still several things I need to do with it for sure, but I want it to go live, and it did. And I'll do those little things that don't really make that much of an impact, but they're just details for it to work perfectly and beautifully. Now here's my power statement for tomorrow. It says, I'll keep working on the next few tasks that are on my Entreport to-do list and on my remaining task list, and once I check the first one off, I'll keep going until I get the next task done and the next task done, until I'm either done with the list or until I run out of time in the day. The next question of my end of the day success routine is to ask myself, were there any mistakes or failures that you may have made today, Marty, that you can turn into a tool of success? Well, just the fact that I was able to set the website to live is a fantastic success. So no, there were no mistakes, nor did I fail today. I was one that just stayed focused, and it was a fantastic day. Like I said last night, I certainly set the table for today to be a successful day, and it was. Check! The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, I know you're already thinking that. My biggest success today, of course, was telling Fahad to make the website go live. It's alive. It's alive. My next end of the day success routine question asked me to rate my day's effort. I decided to give today's effort, of course, a 10. I worked at the speed of 10 all day, and the result was that the website is now live. Okay. I want to end the day strong, so here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says consistency seems to be what we're all after, aren't we? We don't want to create results once in a while. We don't want to feel joyous just for the moment. We don't want to be at our best sporadically. Isn't the mark of a champion consistency then? If the truth be known, true consistency is established by our habits. I find it interesting that my Success Vitamins and Medicine Pill Box, this right here, is all about habits for the month of December. The quote for the month says, "The law of habits is good news for those of us wanting to change our habits in our lives." The word of the month for this month was mini habit. And the thought for the month is mapping our neural connections weaken and actually atrophy physically over time when we interrupt our patterns of using old pathways or our old mapping for a long enough period of time that we reburrow those new ones and lay them down, the other ones shrink and go away. That's an exciting principle. And so our chief objective going forward should be to produce a measurable increase in the quality of our lives, period. The true value of the principles and laws I've been sharing for the past several nights will be a indirect proportion to the frequency that you and I use them. Knowing what to do is not enough. We must do what we have learned and know to be true. It's all about establishing habits of excellence. Let me repeat that. It's all about establishing habits of excellence. Habits are simply patterns of focus, right thinking, repeated over and over and over again, laying down that mapping. And when we do that, they help us maximize the impact these laws have in our lives. In order to take our lives to the next level, we must realize, and hear this, we must realize that the same pattern of thinking that has gotten us to where we are at this moment will not get us to where we want to go for our future to a new level. An old coach of mine, Dave Severance, said it this way: if the team you currently have hasn't been able to get you to where you want to go yet, you need a new team. You need to recruit up. And he's right. A new level of thinking is required. Go get new thoughts. A new team of thoughts is required in order to experience a new level of personal and professional success. Once and for all, we must break through the barriers of our fears and take control of the focus of our minds. Our old patterns of thinking that allows our minds to be enslaved by our old selves, our old story that enslaves us with the problems of the moment, must be made to atrophy, like I just said, and by having our minds be filled with new thoughts of empowerment, that new team of thoughts, new and consistent mapping. We must establish the lifelong commitment that we will focus on solutions and enjoy the process. Just learning about these true principles and laws will not do this for us. We must put them to use in our daily lives. We must practice what we preach. We just can't buy a new computer, for example, and then never take it out of its box. To enjoy its power and the value it can have on our lives, we have to use it, or we will lose it. So here's a plan of interrupting our old patterns of thinking. It's a way to discard our old stories of ourselves, our old feelings and way of behaving. It's a way that will help us condition the new, empowering, alternative ways of thinking I've introduced the past few evenings so that we may make our mapping absolutely consistent. There's the key, making our mapping consistent. When we find ourselves being incredibly negative and seeing things worse than they are and using pessimism as a shield to protect us from the pain of failed expectations of ourselves, we must first realize that what this pattern of thinking that creates this barrier from allowing pain to get at us is actually keeping us from the pleasure and happiness we seek. And here's why. This way of thinking, this mapping bars us from seeing the solutions that are available to us and ends up sealing us into a tomb of emotional death where we don't feel very much pain, nor do we feel very much pleasure or happiness. It's a place where we continuously justify our limiting actions by saying, I'm just being realistic. But you might be saying, if we allow ourselves to become the kind of people who refuse to see the weeds that are taking root in our mind gardens, our delusions will destroy us. But I will counter that by saying equally destructive are those people who, out of fear, constantly imagine the mind garden as overgrown and choked with irretractable weeds. The solution is to this dilemma is to be balanced in our thoughts. A leader said to himself, I see the weeds, and he then says to himself or herself, those weeds may be visiting my garden, but their visit are all but over. In other words, he knows they're short-lived because now that I've seen them, he says, I will now immediately act to remove them. Like I've said before, weeds are part of this natural world, and we must accept that as a fact. But we must also accept the fact that we can just remove them when they spring up. Period. Weeds are actually a good thing. What are you saying, Coach? I'm saying they keep us on our toes. They keep us vigorous. They keep us strong. They keep us vigilant and noticing what needs to be done to keep our mind gardens healthy and rich and thinking of abundance and not scarcity. Over the last 30 days, I've talked about how we break the patterns of negative thinking. So now's the time to own those principles and to do it. These principles lead to the next thing I'm grateful for, which is the law of the flicker. What I call the power of the flicker, which says, in life, when a challenge comes, a new weed comes, never spend more than 10% of your time on that problem. Give it its 15 minutes, wad it up, and then flick it away. And start giving the 90% of your time towards the solution. Don't sweat the small stuff, because the fact is, for the most part, they're all small stuff, really. You might be asking yourself, won't this make the problem worse? If I don't worry about my problems, won't they get out of control? Taking the 90% to focus entirely upon the solution, on what's great in your life, on what works and how lucky you are to be alive, will not make your problem worse. I assure you, as you do this and do it often, you will find that this pattern of thinking will actually make you stronger so that what you once thought was a problem may even disappear because you now see yourself differently. You might even see yourself as unstoppable. That's why. This leads me to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for John Dryden, who said, we first make our habits, and then our habits make us. By committing to set in place a new pattern of thinking towards the weeds that spring up in our lives, this will give us a break from limiting habits and will actually help us to flex our muscles of empowerment. Mentally, we will be sending our brains new messages that command new results. You remember the CT-FAR model? Circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. That model is what I'm talking about here, but it's on steroids. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I'll be back here at my laptop one more time tomorrow night, sharing my feelings and my video journal for the day. But until then, I wish you continued success. Good night.